Good afternoon, NMRTC 29 Palms. I'm HM2 Vincent, and today we'd like to go over Martin Luther King observance, Black History Month observance, and Women's History Month observance.
Good afternoon, NMRTC 29 Palms. My name is HN Littlejohn.
My name is HN Igueta Myers.
Good afternoon. My name is HM3 Baldo.
Martin Luther King Jr. was born in Atlanta, Georgia. He became a prominent leader in the American Civil Rights Movement in 1955 when he served as a spokesperson for the Montgomery bus boycott, a campaign by the African American population of Montgomery, Alabama, to force the integration of the city buses. He is widely regarded as America's preeminent advocate of nonviolence and one of the greatest nonviolent leaders in world history. The reason I chose MLK Jr. is because he made a major impact all while practicing nonviolence. Martin Luther King Jr. is the first African American and the first non-U.S. president to have an official legal holiday. I find this milestone very monumental because he is one of the first African Americans to have their own legal holiday, and it shows growth in this country. It took 15 years to create the federal Martin Luther King Jr. holiday. Congressman John Collier's first introduced legislation for a commemorative holiday 4 days after King was assassinated in 1968. After the bill stalled, petitions endorsing the holiday containing 6 million names were submitted to Congress. Public pressure for the holiday mounted during the 1982 and 1983 civil rights marches in Washington. Congress passed the holiday legislation in 1983, and it was signed into law by President Ronald Reagan. I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. Now, this quote is important to me because prejudice still exists around the world, and this serves as a reminder to keep pushing and to end racism everywhere.
9 months before Rosa Parks refused to move her seat, a young woman named Claudette Colvin did the same. Claudette was only 15 years old at the time. She was beaten and arrested for taking a stand. In the months that followed, the Montgomery bus boycott came into fruition in Alabama. I picked Claudette Colvin because she helped shine light on how unconstitutional Montgomery's segregated bus system was. She then went on to inspire an entire wave of civil rights movements. Abraham Lincoln issued the preliminary Emancipation Proclamation on September 22, 1862. It stipulated that if the southern states did not cease their rebellion by January 1, 1863, the proclamation would go into effect. When the Confederacy did not yield, Lincoln issued the final Emancipation Proclamation on January 1, 1863. On March 6, 1960, President Kennedy issued Executive Order 10925, prohibiting discrimination in federal government, hiring the basis of race, religion, or national origin, and establishing the President's Committee on Equal Employment Opportunity, the EEOC. They were directed to scrutinize the steady employment practices of the U.S. government and recommend additional affirmative steps for executive departments and agencies. I chose this milestone because it gave individuals reassurance that there are no judgments made based on stereotypes. Instead, employees feel understood, appreciated, and valued. President Lincoln said, "I never in my life felt more certain that I was doing the right thing than I do in signing this paper. If my name ever goes into history, it will be for this act, and my whole soul is in it." To me, this quote shows that even after endless efforts, President Lincoln was able to achieve his goals. He helps oneself realize that no matter how big or small this said goal is, you can reach it. Goals give your life purpose, direction, and meaning.
2014, 17-year-old Malala Yousafzai of Pakistan became the youngest Nobel Peace Prize recipient. In 2008, Yousafzai gave a speech denouncing Taliban attacks on girls' schools. Despite a death threat from the Taliban, she continued to advocate for women's right to education.
I have rights. I have the right of education. I have the right to play. I have the right to sing. I have the right to talk. I have the right to go to market. I have the right to speak up.
When she was 15, a gunman boarded her school bus and shot her in the head. After multiple surgeries and being taken to England for further treatment, she recovered and continued to promote education. Her bravery and courage, while facing adversity, became an inspiration not only to me, but to everyone, both men and women around the world. Every year since 1911, the 8th of March has been celebrated as International Women's Day. Events held on this day honor women's economic, political, and social achievements. And in 1987, the National Women's History Project petitioned Congress to expand Women's History Week to the entire month of March. Since then, the National Women's History Month resolution has been approved with bipartisan support in both the House and the Senate. We as women have come a long way from barely being allowed to vote to being able to serve with our brothers in the United States military. Closing off with one of my favorite quotes from Malala herself, "When the whole world is silent, even one voice is powerful. Like Malala, everyone is capable of being the sole voice."
Here in NRTC 29 Palms, we follow Diomi's guiding principles of readiness, respect for the infinite, dignity and worth of all individuals, excellence in education, training, and research, awareness of the issues, successes, and strategies in human relations, diversity, and understanding that our strengths derive from our differences as well as our shared values, goals, and ethics, innovation of process, technology, and designs to enhance our mission, nation which we have sworn to defend and endeavor to improve, exchange of ideas in the spirit of academic freedom and professional responsibility, selfless service, a priority to the higher ideas of equality and fairness, support of commitment to quality processes for our customers and our organization.